Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. Mic check. Hey, Rev. Hey, Jim. Hey, Atlam. How are we doing? Oh, good. Glad you can hear me. Stand by. Just one moment. Just double checking a few things. Making sure all my feeds are live. How was everyone's weekend? Do anything interesting? Hellos all around. Hello, Asmodeus. How are you? How's the feed on YouTube looking today? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Rev. Other than that, it was a good weekend. Just trying to make sure the chat bot crashed, so I was like, where is my chat feed over here on the screen? Yeah, that is a bummer, man. I'm really sorry about that. Sorry for your loss, my friend. It is a cool screen. Wim gave me new art recently for Mapmaker Monday. So, brand new, fun art. I think it looks fantastic. It is. It's like it's hot off the press, right, Jim? Oh, nice. Nice, Asmodeus. Stay safe out there, man. Oh my goodness. Okay, so everyone can hear me. Let's see if everyone can see me. Shall we? Boom. Hello, hello. Welcome back to Mapmaker Monday. My name is Mac. I'm the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. Every Monday, we meet up on multiple platforms: Twitch, TikTok, Steam, YouTube, etc. Facebook, forgot to add that one. And we stream for roughly 2.5 hours while we build a map live and provide you with real-time AMA support. Welcome, Chaos Theory. How you doing? Or Chaos Theroy, I should say. Bonjour to you. Thank you for sharing the live and liking the live. So every Monday we work on this map for a little bit while we answer questions in AMA format for our community, which means ask me anything. So if you have any Dungeon Alchemist related inquiries, whether it's questions about our future development, or maybe you're working on a map and wondering how to do a certain thing in the map, or maybe you saw a map on the workshop and wondering how they accomplished that. Maybe you're struggling with your exports or anything. Just ask me and I will do my best to provide you with real-time assistance. Oh, Anani. Oh, Anani. You want to get the do you want to see the hammer? I'm just kidding you. I am just messing with you. I put up a few just to see what they'd look like, Chim, but I haven't really solidified locations or styles yet. So like there's like all of 3 or 4 of them up. Gargoyles. There's only so many ice objects, and these are one of them, so I kind of want to capitalize on it, you know what I mean? Build something neat. So what did you do? Uh-oh. Did you ban him? Where is he? What did you do? Oh, goodness. You didn't have to do that. I was joking. Like, I was completely joking. Anani, I hope you're okay wherever you are. We'll see you someday. So yeah, I need to kind of go through and start adding gargoyles. At like various points on the roofs to make this place ominous. Uh-oh. I hope he's still here. I don't even see him in the like the chat feed. It's probably using a bot, like a very specific command designed for a bot. I see him back in. Anani, are you here? I did not time you out. It was Atlam. He's got an itchy trigger finger. What do you think? Do the gargoyles look neat? So, did anyone do anything this weekend of interest? Let's talk about it. And also, if you did any like session prep or gameplay with your group, I'd love to hear about that as well. Gargoyles. That looks pretty good. The heck just happened? See that? It's straightened out in there, and then out here it's different turn. The heck was that? The Ice Palace is coming along, huh, Jack? Trying to add like minor details outside to make it look interesting and imposing. I think I was going to add snowlums like all over as like guards. Maybe some snowmen too. But like smaller snowlums and like snowmen. So they're all just like essentially summoned guards. How you doing, Jack? Okay, let's move up. Snowman sentries, right? You timed him out like the whole stream, I think. I'm just kidding. I don't know for sure. I don't know where to look. Or how long the timeouts are set for. Oh. Okay, one over the window. Yep, okay. Oh my goodness. Anani, I'm sure it was traumatizing being timed out this long. I hope you're well. Oh my goodness. The void always has its grasp on Anani. There's no way to let it happen any other way. Got some good news just now. Jack says, I'm alive. Am procrastinating on work for Friday's session. Got a fantastic Dwarven City map from the workshop, but found there's so much available. I need to flesh out for what the map provides. It's a nice problem to have. Not bad, yeah, for sure. Like, honestly, it's always great to lean on the workshop when you need a map in a pinch, right? First off. Secondly, I find it's great to, see that map with new eyes, right? Add your spin to it, so to speak. Because it's like a new thing, fresh out of the box. Just because, you're going to give it a fresh take. Don't worry about it. I know it was all in jest all around y'all with the timeout. I'm not mad at you, Atlam, by the way. And Anani, I'm sure, knows that it was just a This is a simple oversight. That said, yeah, no need to time anyone out. If anything, we just mute people and or ban them if it comes to it. I've only had to ban a handful of people over the years, and it's mostly just been spammers. Oh, good. I'm glad you could at least hear us. I'm not sure what a timeout's like. I didn't know what it does. Felt bad for you, my friend. I'm glad you're here. Okay, I need some snowmen on these little... Oh, this one's a guard. Perfect. Let's give this guy a helmet. I want to give him one that doesn't fit him, like that one. So maybe something like this. You can have it on like sideways like this. That, or we could just make that his head. Like this one's just sitting on top of his head. Like it's not really nestled on his head. It's just resting on there. You know what I mean? Like obviously a hat sits on top, but this one just kind of looks even more silly. Y'all like my guards? So I've been working really hard the past few weeks on my health. I kind of recently, you know, obviously hit 40 on my birthday. And so I was just kind of assessing myself closely. And yeah, I decided to start like walking more and cycling more and like stretching more and just working out more. We have a home gym and it's been gathering dust the last year or so because I barely use it. So gonna get more active. I'm very sedentary because I work from home and just vibe at home and we don't go out much. So making a point to be more active the next, you know, upcoming few years. Uh yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. But like I've been trying to walk about 2.5 miles a day, which is quite a bit at first. That's just a little over 4 kilometers for anyone wondering if you use metric. Yeah, I like the guards. They look fun. Don't underestimate them, though. Oh, that sounds cool, Jack. I saw a video recently of a guy who put like a huge reel of sandpaper around he like took the treadmill off and then put sandpaper on it and he used it as like a huge sanding wheel. Is it messed up if you make and train your own AI engine or own AI for that engine? In Unreal Engine, there's a built-in AI for what, Michael? So Dungeon Alchemist is made using Unity, but it is a map making utility for like tabletop games like D&D or Pathfinder. Built-in AI for what? Just to help with development or whatever? So Dungeon Alchemist uses a procedural AI in helping generate environments and filling rooms and whatnot. That said, it's nothing like LLMs or generative AI. It's very last gen AI. So when you generate an environment, it'll fill in like the terrain and all the trees and objects for it, depending on the environment you generate. Or if you generate a structure, you can generate it full of items or empty or whatever. Yeah, so Dungeon Alchemist is a more of a classical procedural generation instead of LLMs. LLMs are more of a modern kind of modern day generation. They're relatively new, at least for the public. I mean, I wouldn't, Jack, honestly, that sounds like I wouldn't, like, they probably have custom sanders for huge doors. I saw this huge sander that was like designed to help clean, like sand off an entire table or a desk all in like a few seconds. Let's see here. I'm glad you took it in stride, Anani. By the way, Michael, welcome to the stream. We're live on multiple platforms right now, so if I'm talking to someone in chat you don't see, that's why. Trying to decide how. Oh, I guess I already did one over here, didn't I? Did I do this edge? Yeah, so we just did the corners. Corners. Isn't it so weird how when you go over structures, it like automatically rotates? Look at the way it's turned, like its wings. And then when you go in, rotates to fit inside. Automatically. Don't know why. Got to talk to the devs about that. Okay, trying to think of where else gargoyles would make sense. As you can see them all around the outside here. Maybe up on these top ones with some of these outer edges. I feel like right here it'd be really hard to see them back there because the wall angle might get in the way. What do y'all think? Do we have enough gargoyles? Or should I add some more on this top, like upper levels? Because you could do some here, outside edges of these, and then maybe on these corner points. Point, 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 point. I'm open to feedback. And then we'll add guards all around the walls and the lookout towers and stuff. snowmen and snowlums. Some never hurts. Some more never hurts. Got it. Anyway, so getting back to, how I said I'm trying to take better care of myself. I'm already down 5 pounds, so that's pretty good. I kind of have a target weight in mind. I'm just going to keep grinding until I hit that area. Anyway, so I'm kind of hyped about that. So hopefully y'all will start seeing some like face gains as I trim out a bunch over the coming months. I'm also excited for it to cool my hair, my lack of hair, you mean? I don't know if you're being sarcastic, that one. Throwing shade there. Catching strays for no reason here. The cat in the hat. In French, what is it? Bonjour. In Spanish, El gato in a sombrero. Gargoyle. Why is it not listed as a gargoyle here? Hello? Ice. Ice sculpture. Oh, okay. Not listed as gargoyle at all. So helpful. Might make these a little bit larger. They're up like high. I'm also trying to cover that post. A little bit less. Raise it up. I could put it on the post. Especially if it's smaller. Hey, I like it. Okay, we ended up shrinking it. We'll be on the post. Looks pretty good. It's funny because it should also have gargoyle at least, or like Hendrick or something in its tag, right? Like in a search term for it. Sometimes I wish I could go through and just start adding tags to objects in DA, but that's something I don't have access to with my, my tool set for Dungeon Alchemist. I'd love to just sit there and like anytime I think of one, add it. Like proper like labels and tags for things, so when you search something, finds it better. Honestly, I love the bald jokes. I'm not even joking. I don't even care about them. They roll right off of my scalp, my bald scalp. They're like water. Just running off of me. God. Hold on 1 minute. I just heard something really loud and I gotta go check. It was the garbage truck. I think it just made a loud noise, and I couldn't really tell what it was through my headphones. Okay. We got gargoyles all the way around. And then I'm going to put some up on the top. Looks good. Looks very good. I like it. Just a little bit more forward. We'll just put these on the tips here. These outside like wings of the structure. One more. And we are gargoyled. We could say that those are constructs just waiting. Thank you, Derek. Glad you like it. How's the feed coming through on TikTok today? Great. Glad to hear it. Fantastic. I think I fixed a few protrusions and weird things. We fixed the staircases and a couple other things over the last few streams. This is going to be the bedroom, like the suite, the top room. And I might extend it up a little bit with like a central stair going up higher, but we'll see. And then as you go down, each of the rooms will be different things. I was thinking of adding like a study or like something like that. Maybe like a dining area, like a kitchen. Just a little bit of everything as you go down. And then this last, like the bottom floor would be the throne room. Actually, no, I don't know. We'll see. I don't even know if we need a throne room. It's not like he has subjects. You can add furniture, so you can create structures using the room tool, so you can generate all sorts of structures. There's tons of different room types, and those room types have like different walls, floors, windows, doors, ceilings, etc. You can generate rooms with or without objects and stuff in them. So you could say, hey, I want no objects and I want to generate just a room that's empty, so you could decorate it how you want, which is what I did with this map. I've been kind of slowly decorating every inch of it with custom, window placement and stair placement, stuff like that. So related to custom furniture, if you wanted to make custom furniture and bring it into Dungeon Alchemist to add to your maps, it's totally possible. You just can't build it within Dungeon Alchemist. So what you would do is essentially, I guess you could technically build custom furniture with kit bashing, because you can kind of merge multiple pieces together. That said, we have a tool called the Asset Importer, and that allows you to import custom 3D models into Dungeon Alchemist as long as they are correctly configured STL, FBX, or GLTF/GLB models. So you can import custom 3D assets and put them into your designs anywhere you want. People do this to make like custom models or tokens of their players or very specific magic objects. People will import their pets. And in addition to that, importing custom assets yourself, there's an asset browser that's tied into Steam Workshop, and it currently has over 16,000 3D models to browse through. So let's say you wanted some furniture, right? You could search furniture, see if there's something here that might fit your needs that might not be available in our current furniture set. So not only can you import 3D models, you can browse the assortment of 3D models provided by our community, and you can also browse the stock assets that are furniture, which there's hundreds of thousands of options available. You've got tables, counters, chairs, benches, cupboards, shelves, desks, all sorts of stuff, beds and bedding. So you can take these items, right, and say merge them together. Let's say you wanted to turn this bed into a bunk bed. You could stack the other bed on top, technically. And because we have collisions disabled, we can raise it up a little bit higher and make like a custom bunk bed. So that's one thing, kind of kit bashing items together. Or let's say there is like a bench or a couch you like, and you want to make it into like an L-shaped bench, right? Like a corner bench. This room right here. So we could put this one in the corner there. And then I'm going to turn and place another object just right on top of that one to make a custom corner bench. So essentially, now I made a custom L-shaped bench by kit bashing two benches together, right? Hey, Eric. Hope you're well, my friend. Does that make sense? So to a degree, you can do stuff like this. And we're incorporating a new feature in our next update that'll allow you to rotate objects on any axis. So you'll be able to lay them on their sides and at different angles. So you'll be able to make way more custom stuff than before from items that are in here. Oh yeah, kit bashing, my chat on TikTok is saying that the update will open the door for so much more options when it comes to kit bashing when the new updates become available. So for now, it is kind of a limitation. It's a bummer, but soon it'll get much better. Anyway, appreciate your questions, Derek. Hope you're doing well. And if you have more questions related to Dungeon Alchemist, please let me know. By the way, we have a demo available on Steam, so you can download it and try it out, you know, before you put any like investment into it, just to see how it runs on your computer. It gives you limited access, kind of a small piece of the overall pie. You can access the forest biome and then build using you can build a tavern in the forest biome and have access to a limited set of objects that can help supplement a tavern build. So make sure you check it out. Let's see here, everyone. Let's start adding guards. Our snowlums and our snowmen guards. Hey, no worries, no worries. By the way, if you're enjoying that stream, make sure you hit that follow button so you could find us in the future. We offer 2 streams a week where we like to hang out with our community, provide, you know, tutorials, real-time guidance, and you can watch maps be built, or we showcase community maps and whatnot. Anyway, Derek, it's nice to meet you. And thank you for that follow. Guess what, everyone? We just got a follow, which means, oh, Captain Swiss Roll followed too. We just got 2 follows. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Let me check and see if there was any other follows before the stream started. There was not. To the cheese map. The cheese map. Okay. So we've started this new silly thing on the stream called the cheese map. And every time we get a follow, we go and open the cheese map and add another wheel of cheese. So we just got 2 follows. Oh, no. No, what happened to it? Is it corrupt? Oh no, I made a mistake. Oh my goodness. So I opened the map the other day when I had the dev build open, and it updated the map to the newer version. Shoot. 1 second. Let's see if we can resolve this really quickly. Darn it. That is such a bummer. I was at 3 and got 7 on Saturday. So I guess we got to go start a new map. That's a bummer. Well, luckily we only just started this thing last week, so we can fix it. But everyone can enjoy it today. I'm going to want to have rolling hills of cheese. This is why cheese is stored in caves and not fields. Should we have cheese caves? I don't know. You know what? Actually, if I want rolling fields of cheese, we need to be in the grasslands biome. Is this a reasonable map to start adding cheese to, or should we do the caves? Now that we have a chance to start from scratch and add these 10 wheels of, 12 wheels of cheese, I should say. We could add cave. Could add cave to map. Can I use English correctly? Cheese. Okay, I think I'm gonna just mix and match wheels of cheese because we need some variety. So we're gonna make this one a little bit bigger of a match. And then we're gonna just lay them out in a line for now. That or, ooh, I've got an idea for this. Waka, 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 waka. Should I have shelves just loaded with cheese? Do y'all see the Pac-Man meme there? Okay, so I had 3, added 7, need 2 more, so 12 in total. 8 more. What should we do over here? Let's do a little pattern. We'll write maybe like a letter. John. Yes, I do know about real cheese caves. There's actually all sorts of storage and food storage. Big companies store goods in caves all over the US. And there's like, back in the day, all sorts of people used to use underground like root cellars before refrigeration and air conditioning. It was very common. Okay, hold on. You know what? I got an idea. I want to write a message outside the cave. Okay. And we'll use it by copying these wheels. So this is I, right? Then we'll add a big cheese wheel like this that looks like a heart, right? Y'all see the resemblance? I see it. So I'm trying to write I heart DA, but we're running out of cheese. So we got an I, a heart, and then we got the first line of a D. So we have 4, 8, 12. I'm actually over 1 cheese right now. So remember, everyone, as we get follows and subscribes throughout the day, we will add more cheese to the map, and I will just keep adding randomness to the map as we go. So we've got the start of our cave cheese cellar, which I'm thinking I'm going to add a shelf to over here and just start adding cheese to, and we'll put the Pac-Man on top of it. We'll just start stacking it up with cheese. Let's do a shelf. This old shelf. Perfect. See, because then we can put this up on top of it. Maybe even shrink it down a little bit. What do you think? Waka, waka, waka. I like that. No, I'm just going to start adding little art pieces to the map. So this is going to say I heart DA. This is a heart. I don't know if you see that. It is to me. Anyway. Hey, Morgana, welcome back. There are actually several Pac-Man maps that have been made over the years, but I would love to see a new one. Oops. But that's also a good thing to know, to not open up my master maps in the new build, because I could destroy some of my maps if I do that. Probably only really affects me and a handful of other people on the planet right now, but it's just good to know. Waka waka. Sorry, Jim also could be, you know, Fozzie. How have you been, Morgana? What you been up to? Okay, so the cheese map has been updated with all our new follows. We're going to save. We're going to save again. And then we're going to go open our ice palace. Gosh, I hope my bastion's okay. I don't think I opened it when I was in the new build. About to order lunch, but you don't know what you want? You should let chat decide lunch for you. Live dangerously. What do you think? Do you want to build a snowman? Depending on where you live, that can mean an entirely different thing, Jack. Like, I feel like biscuits and gravy, the way, like, it's almost entirely an American thing. Because biscuits are cookies, for instance, in England. You wouldn't want to put gravy on cookies. American biscuits are like probably, I am honest when I say they are top tier food. They are something to behold. If you've never had a biscuits and gravy in your as part of your breakfast, it is something else. Fair enough, Morgana. Scones and gravy, but see, we also have scones here in the US, and they're completely different from biscuits. And scones are more often, they're like great with like some butter and honey. I mean, I guess you could put honey and butter on a biscuit just fine. Butter is great on it. Honey, I don't know. I guess so. Yeah. But I'm more inclined to have some gravy with it, like brown gravy or white gravy with some like sausage bits in it. Yeah. You need to look up American biscuits and gravy. Oh, chicken and waffles would be so good right now. You know what? Morgana, I've decided for you. You should do chicken and waffles if that's something that your diet will allow. I don't know what your dietary restrictions are, but if that's an option you have at your disposal, you should do it. Okay, we've got most of our exterior. Might add a couple of guards on this ground level too, like some snowlums. Yeah, American biscuits and honey is good, actually. I'm thinking about it now. I have had a lot of them like that. Like going to KFC and just getting biscuits and butter and honey is so good. So American biscuits are very savory, right? And then they pull apart and just crumble depending on how they're made. So some can pull apart in layers, or some can kind of like just crumble, and they're so good. My stepfather, every year for like Christmas breakfast, he makes a mountain of biscuits, and it's like a it's like a sausage gravy. It's like a white gravy with bits of sausage meat in it, and it is just so good. Yeah, I don't think they're like scones really at all. Like at all. Like, to be honest with you, I do think Chick-fil-A is a little overhyped. I've been there a few times over the years, especially like pre-COVID, and I don't get it. I think it's overhyped. They're quick. They do have their like ordering and like distribution, like cooking system set up very smooth. It's like in and out. You literally pull up, order, and you're out. It's quick. And part of it is because they have people out taking your order way in advance. Morgana, I hope you have fun with your stream later. You know what? I've done savory with pancakes before. I totally think that'd be great. And by the way, we're not talking about like a mashed potato gravy, like a brown gravy or even like a white gravy for mashed potatoes. The gravy that we're talking about for biscuits is very distinct. It's a different type of gravy entirely. Hey, Bremen, welcome. Welcome, welcome. We're talking about American biscuits while we think of what to put inside of this first layer of this ice palace. How was your weekend, my friend? I made a mistake by not putting the stairs here because we could have put something central. Your 22nd and wedding anniversary? Congratulations. Congratulations. Oh, that's awesome. It's monumental. Did you do anything fun to celebrate? Oof, it's too big. That looks pretty cool. I remember I put the bed up here, but I didn't remember when I did it. A week or two ago. I'm also considering not just snow and ice things, but extra dimensional items. So like the dimensional stuff. There's like tables and chairs and different surfaces we can use. This little platform might be neat on the base floor. Tuck them under each staircase with a golem on them. That sounds interesting, Anani. Man, oh man. Not sure how I feel about these after seeing them, but maybe we could do like a pyramid or something like this in the center. Is that not centered? That is centered. It's the lamp that isn't centered. Wow, lamp. It's pretty cool. I am the community manager. My name is Mac. It's nice to meet you, Enshrouded. And if you have questions, feel free to ask. That's what the stream's for. Don't like that these auto link. So not only do I stream for them, but I provide community support, guidance, interactivity, etc. So if you have any questions, feedback, suggestions, whatnot, you're in the right place, my friend. That's a good question. I don't know offhand. I'd have to check my build, but even then, it wouldn't be a for sure answer. My dev build, I mean, because my dev build is actually about a month behind at the moment. You could have map related answers. They may not have just questions related to DMing. I like this pyramid, but I'm not sold on it yet. We'll think on it. But you can now see the pit through there. That's pretty cool. I fell into the pit. It's over the top. I have a feeling that Enshrouded is just typing up a storm right now. They got questions. And oh, do I have answers. That actually looks pretty cool. But yeah, this is the official channel, Enshrouded. So this is the official Dungeon Alchemist channel. Anytime you pretty much see a post on like social media, Reddit, whatever, that's me. I'm also Mac on our Discord. Can you tell me what you want to do with animated GIFs, and I can maybe go along, see if that's something that we're working on. But I do know in the past, like people have wanted to put like an animated image, for instance, in the paintings, because you can like insert a custom image into like a painting on the wall, right? Unfortunately, animated images are very large, right? Usually a GIF that's like animated is, much larger than a similar sized image. And I think when you start adding lots of animations to a map, it can become very drastically affect performance, right? So I think that's part of the reason the devs have kind of minimized like certain types of animations being added. But there are animated assets built into Dungeon Alchemist that are stock. You can download animated assets from the workshop, or you can import custom animated assets. So technically, you can make flat assets, which would mean it could be a GIF in essence. Like if it's a flattened, image that's animated as a 3D model, then yes, it could be imported that way. Oh, a top-down GIF of a map? Yeah, an animated map already exists. When you go to export your map, depending on your export settings, that's where and how you animate it. Gotcha. I misunderstood the question there. So when you go to export, depending on your export options, for instance, you could just go to video mode. Now, GIF isn't an option per se, but MP4s and WebMs can be converted to GIFs, right? So the file option, you have animated export options, but we found that MP4 and WebM are probably the best for several reasons. MP4 is most universal as a video format, right? It's used everywhere. Everything from your phone to your Xbox can play an MP4. WebM is ideal for larger maps because beyond a certain resolution, MP4 isn't viable. It's like 8K resolution or 4K resolution. It becomes very unuseful. Nice. Pixel, welcome to the stream. So if you have any questions, let me know. That's what I'm here for. Sorry, someone over on TikTok was saying hello, so I wanted to make sure they knew I was here to answer questions. But WebM can scale infinitely with the map size. So if you have a huge map or a small map, WebM is the way to go for exports, in my opinion. And then you can convert that WebM to a GIF if you want to. But WebM and MP4 are compatible with most play systems. You can loop them through like video players if you're doing like TV tabletops. You can put them on most virtual tabletop softwares such as Foundry, Fantasy Grounds, etc. And if you want to do animated exports for like say Foundry or Fantasy Grounds, we actually offer animated exports built right into them. So you can export your maps as it's a 30-second looped animation in either an MP4 or a WebM. But yeah, I'm on the dev team. I am the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. It's nice to meet you, Pixel. My name is Mac. But yeah, this is the official channel. So I have access to dev builds. I communicate with the dev team regularly. I help, pass on community feedback to the dev team so they can incorporate it into the builds. I help with testing. I do manage our social media, stuff like that. Hey, thank you for the follow, Pixel. Y'all know what that means, right? We just got to follow. New cheese. Okay, let's open up our cheese per follow map. To the cheese cave. Actually, we're writing I Heart DA right now. So let's add another one of these cheeses. So you just added another cheese. Every time we get a follow, we add a cheese to our map. We started this just like the other day, so it's a very new thing. Don't have many cheeses yet. But we're writing I Heart DA. So it's short for I Heart Dungeon Alchemist. So that's my current art project. The other one I did was Pac-Man. Waka waka waka. So we're gonna fill this cheese cave up with cheese wheels slowly, and then we're gonna be adding cheese all over the map and doing different art projects. To the cheese cave. No 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 no. So Enshrouded, Dungeon Alchemist is designed to make maps for playing, tabletop games. So we understand people are going to be using them to play, right? We also understand that everyone that uses Dungeon Alchemist is at their core an artist, whether it's just for private games or you intend to make maps for resale, or maybe you're designing a campaign module or a supplement of some sort to sell, whatever. Maybe you run a paid campaign. Dungeon Alchemist and the team behind it understands that many in our community do that. It's not just for personal use. So at the end of the day, if you're making a map for resale or you're using our maps in a paid campaign or a supplement module that you're selling on a third-party site, like Patreon or whatever, that's totally fine. You may want to refer to Article 4.1 of our Terms of Use. It's available on our website. And I think Atlam can link it for you really quick. Is TOS not working? Might need to restart the bot. There it is. I just dropped it for you. Oh, no, it's 4.1, isn't it? I think is what it is. Let's try another one really quick. This... That said, many of people use it outside of TTRPGs. So let me explain. People have made maps that they have used inside of video games, okay? I.e. they made Dungeon Alchemist maps be the backdrop in either a top-down or like a setting piece diorama, like a JRPG type game, and they would put their own artwork of their characters on that set piece. So basically, Article 4.1 in a nutshell basically states that you don't really need to worry about any kind of specialized licensing or a special version of Dungeon Alchemist, whether it's for, personal or business use or school use or whatever, until you surpass $100,000 in annual gross, income that Dungeon Alchemist is related to that product. So let's say you made a book and you use Dungeon Alchemist maps in it as whatever. And that book netted 100,000 in gross profit that year. That's when you would need a specialized business license of Dungeon Alchemist. Okay. And honestly, we put it up so high because we understand that artists that are in this early stage of making maps and selling them or using them in their projects. They don't really have a lot of money or capital, and they also don't really have a lot of resources or know-how when it comes to these things. So we want to make it easy. You don't need to worry about it until you actually start making money. i.e., once you start making a good chunk with your project, then you need to consider reaching out to us and arranging for a business license. And every business license is case by case. I don't deal with that, so I can't speak on the pricing, down to a minute dollar or even give an estimate. Those are all case by case because every project's different. So the scope of the project and how many, computers is being used on, et cetera, can make a lot of difference. Honestly, the first person who gets that hits 100,000 and is asking for a license that way, I would encourage the devs to purchase them a bottle of champagne to celebrate. Like, come on. That's like good news for everyone all around. If you're making that kind of income selling maps, that's really cool. And Shrouded, that's an interesting idea. Very interesting. Okay, let's get out of the cheese map. Let's save it twice. We'll go back to our ice palace. And then we'll add cheese later if we get another follow or subscribe throughout the stream. So, in Shrouded, that kind of breaks it down, but you really don't need to worry about it at all at this point, unless you are like a big business. Like one time we had a business reach out, and they had a huge complex, and they were adding, they did all sorts of sports games, like basketball and pickleball and all. They had gaming areas too, where people would play tabletop games, but they wanted to expand it to have like D&D arenas where people could do essentially either a big room where they could rent out and have a hired DM or a private session with their own DM that's like a decorated D&D themed room, like a fantasy room. And they had a huge arena that was for doing LARP D&D, where you could dress up as your character and have a map on a huge basketball arena sized floor. So they were talking to us about that, but I don't remember how that worked out. But we've had a few businesses approach us for large scale projects, and we've had everywhere from small, indie art, TTRPG teams making supplements, all the way up to large companies wanting to do business licenses, and they're all unique and different in their own right. So what I would recommend is as you start building up a project and you have your proof of concept and you start building your art and your, everything you're doing with it, you would essentially, once you get to a point that maybe you have a beta or whatever, maybe reach out to the team and let them know, and they could even see it. I'm sure they would love it. I don't think they'll have any problems. One big thing, though, is Dungeon Alchemist related content. If you just throw a little credit our way by a shout out, in your credits for your product or whatever, it probably wouldn't hurt. You know what I mean? Now, that said, making Dungeon Alchemist maps for a project that is intended for profit like you're doing, you do not want to use assets from the Steam Workshop, period, for those maps. Because the assets on the Steam Workshop, they're all provided by variant means. Some are created by creators, they make them themselves from scratch. Some are sourced from third-party websites and then put on the workshop and then credited. Like this one here says it's from Sketchfab, and they credited the original creator and put the Creative Commons license. Creative Commons licenses are an art-based license that is used in a lot of art-based circles, so you can use the asset for personal use and redistribute it as such, but not for resale. It's not a license for resale. Now, some Creative Commons licenses, you can use them for resale, but you got to go source down the creator of this product and then purchase a license from them. Luckily, this person attributed it, so you could do that, but many are uploaded without any attribution at all. So we don't know if they were created by the user or just found online and uploaded. A good chunk, I'd say at least half, were made by the community members themselves and shared. they made them in their own spare time, optimized them and uploaded them and shared them out of the good, the kindness of their heart, which is amazing. But unfortunately, the majority of assets on the workshop cannot be used for commercial purposes. If you go into an asset and it's made by someone and they put a little license disclaimer, free use in Dungeon Alchemist, can be used in maps intended to be sold. There you go. If anything, I would just accredit this creator somewhere. You know what I mean? So, and if you've already started downloading assets and making maps, a good rule of thumb when you're in the in your asset browser, your object browser, first off, this section here is all downloaded assets. But you notice this icon here? It's like a little cloud with a down arrow. If you're browsing your assets and you see that, that means you downloaded that from the workshop. Instantly, that means avoid it for maps for resale. Okay? So, Enshrouded. Enshrouded, there wouldn't be any need for licensing unless you are, like I said, surpassing that level of whatever. Just recommending the product to other people, not a problem at all. We have no problem with people doing that. We love it. In fact, word of mouth is kind of our best form of advertising as a small indie company. We really only get recommendations and shared if our community members who use the product let people know about it. Our advertising budget is very small as a tiny company. Yeah, it's just a good rule of thumb to just use stock assets or your own assets. One cool thing about Dungeon Alchemist is you have the asset importer. So you can essentially build a custom 3D model yourself if you have that skill or you're willing to take the time to learn, which most people can learn it inside of a week or two to build custom assets. But the asset importer allows you to import custom models that you can use in your maps. And if you do it this way, you could set those assets to local only, or you can publish them to the workshop, i.e. the cloud. So you could set them as private in the cloud so you have them backed up on the workshop and can get at them easier, or you could just leave them as local. So they're your assets only, meaning your maps or whatever you're building will have custom art in them that is yours only. Does that make sense? We actually have some map makers in our community who make their own assets, put them in their maps, and then have very bespoke maps. Okay. I'm not sure how I feel about the pylon thing. The light is cool. I like them out here, but I didn't like them there. The lines, it's is it a security measure? What is it? Require additional pylons. Y'all know I played some StarCraft. Pixel, it brings you back to your Neverwinter Nights days. You know what? Yeah, I agree. It's got some Neverwinter Nights vibes for sure. Been so long since I played Neverwinter Nights. I was probably 15 or 16 at the time. Probably a little bit younger. My neighbor, he had a copy, right? And yeah, he let me borrow it and play it. We were actually really good friends. Back in the day, high-speed internet was not available everywhere, and it was not cheap. So my grandfather, he actually worked for like Quest, US West for years, and he had tons of like cat cable lying around his garage, and he gave me a box of like Cat 3 back in the day. And that probably would have cost like hundreds of dollars. He just gave it to me. He's like, here, go ahead. And my neighbor and I subscribed to high-speed internet, cable internet through our local provider at the time. And it was like $250 a month for like the crappiest high-speed connection. And we shared that cost, split it, because we were both like working jobs and wanted better internet to play games. And yeah, we'd play like Neverwinter Nights together or Diablo, a lot of Diablo. We'd play Black Hawk Down, played StarCraft. We'd play Warcraft, AoE, Age of Empires. Trying to think of all the games we used to play. But yeah, Neverwinter Nights and Baldur's Gate were big games that we'd play because we were on a network together, so we would just hop on and play co-op. Pushing 40 here, I feel you, man. I just hit 40 last month. So, you know, we're all, well, I mean, this community is pretty diverse. We have all ages, right? But I think that a lot of DMs tend to be in that like 30 to kind of 50 range. The good old days. We didn't know they were the good old days until they were gone, right? It's so frustrating. Trying to think of what to put here. I could put more pylons. Y'all are like thinking I require additional pylons. Excuse me. We could make these light sources too, like put light in them. Just gonna break all these linkages here. I don't want these lines. These are more just decorative than anything. Hey, thank you, Pixel. I'm glad you're enjoying the map, and welcome to the community. Remember, if you have any questions, feel free to drop by the streams and ask. Or our Discord is probably the best place to get support 24 hours a day. Myself, the other dev members, the team members, and our moderators and community members diligently hang out in the server and provide support for questions and support inquiries almost all hours of the day, 7 days a week. In addition to that, it's just a great place to hang out. There's places to just vibe and chit chat about, you know, your campaign, for instance. There's, because everyone there is a DM or a GM, so you can bounce ideas off of people about, you know, homebrew or encounters or your upcoming, ideas and stories for your campaigns or your players and whatnot. Anyway, feel free to check out our Discord. You can find our website link on our profile, and there's a Discord link at the bottom of our website. Have a good evening. Talk to you later. I'm kind of feeling like it's a power source, like a lacrima or something. And it's just part of like the structure's like integrity or something. I don't know. I'm not really sure what I wanted it to be at the moment. It's just decorative. I'm trying to figure out what to put in that central space. You know what I mean? It's art. Yeah, more than anything, it's just decorative. Real question, should I have 2 Snowlums or 1 Snowlum? Hey, see you later, Pixel. Appreciate you. Nice to meet you. Alrighty. We're making some good progress today. We got up all the gargoyles on the upper ledge and all of the snowmen guards, right? Snowmen sentries. And then we've got the snowlums. And we've been decorating the bottom floor. Some good progress so far. I kind of want the bottom floor to feel kind of stint, but also lightly decorated. Just a few pieces that look good and like a draw the eye to it. And then some lighting. We're going to add these little the frost lights to things. And I think I'm going to add abstract lighting to the pillars. Because if I'm not mistaken, they do not emit light. Yeah, they don't. So what we'll do is we'll go into abstract lights, right? And we'll just put one of these in there and make it blue. That looks pretty dope. And we can extend that, or we can lighten it. I kind of like it hitting just the edge of the building there. Snowman Sentry. Yeah, let's not do that one. We'll do a Snard. How about Snites? Snites of the Frozen Table. I feel like a lot of what's going to make this map beautiful is lighting, right? Proper lighting will really sell this map at the end of the day. And that's what I'm going for, is trying to just make it look amazing. So I'm thinking, you know, minimalist, brutalist, imposing meets Frozen. Gosh, that already looks so much better with light down there. Freaking pylon. Gosh, I hate that the default is this, even when I'm copying this object, right? Should copy the properties of the previous object, which is not lit up. Shouldn't have the linkage automatically. But such is life. I'm kind of breaking one of my own rules right now, which is I do not put in abstract lights until the end. Hey, Tina, welcome back. How are you? I'm great with the customers. Honestly, okay, here's the thing, like I do think like text-based emojis, right? Were like a very limited chat form, right? Like they're like hieroglyphics almost nowadays. Because and even kawaii faces and stuff too. Because most kids, when they get into chat tools, they have emojis, right? So we used to have to make emoticons by hand, and it all started with tools like MSN and Yahoo and ICQ when most of us were younger, using those tools or RSS feeds, forums, whatever, right? So we all made, ASCII art was like essentially kind of the beginning, but it's now super popular and kind of making a comeback. But certain emojis, emoticons, early ones are kind of lost or lost on the younger kids because they don't think of those symbols on their phone keypad because they don't have a keypad like that. Their phone is a touchscreen that comes up once in a while. They know there's numbers and letters on it, but that's mainly for dialing specific numbers. They're like a phone number, but most people, yet again, don't use their phone to call anyone. So I think that a lot of us at a certain age group were like pioneering a new chat form, right? With emojis, and then it became integrated in these tools that we all like, added manually, like MSN, and then all of a sudden phones got them too when it became a more viable option. Anyway, I could talk about this subject for a while. It makes me laugh. You need to show your kid the shrug ASCI. I think the shrug emoji is the most timeless emoji. It'll outlast us all. Hey, Frau! Oh my gosh! Yeah, I someone said to me, they're like, click the bed icon. I'm like, the bed icon, because they thought the floppy disk looked like a bed. Frau, how have you been? What's new? Miss ye around these parts. Hope you're well. Let's save. I haven't saved in a moment. Been just kind of focusing on lighting. This is looking really good, though. Really, really good. Look at the lighting down here. We need some lighting in these outer areas and kind of filling in these dark spots here in the building. Oh, you know what? No worries. You got to take time for yourself. Burnout's real for every artist, every DM, every streamer, every creator. Happens at work even. We all deal with it. So I understand. And I'm glad you're back for now. What's your new campaign idea? Let's hear about it. And also, we got some new updates in the pipeline. A big, big update for our community coming soon with Fun with Objects Part 2. So I hope you're eager and excited. Ooh, pylon. Nah. So Divinity is made by Larian, right? Same people who made Baldur's Gate. So I don't know if you and I have had this discussion before, but the DA dev team and Larian dev team are pretty friendly with each other. They're like this. Both of them are based in Belgium, for starters. But years ago at a convention, I think it was the Facts convention in Belgium, the DA devs had their table set up with a demo for Dungeon Alchemist, and the Larian devs were walking through and saw it. Larian devs, not Larian. They saw it and they wanted to check it out, so they played with it and they loved it. They played with Dungeon Alchemist for like an hour straight. They ended up having to leave because they had to go to a meeting or something, but they ended up exchanging information, coming back multiple times, playing with it. They loved it. So, anyways, I just thought it was kind of cool. I was secretly hoping, and then our dev team obviously loves loves Baldur's Gate and whatnot. So it's just kind of cool to get to meet them and see what the team's all about. They've invited our devs to have tours at their headquarters a couple of times. They've went and hung out. So kind of jealous that I don't live in Belgium. It'd be cool to go hang out at the Larian studio. They probably got all sorts of cool stuff. Like I've been to a few game studios and almost every time they have cool stuff, like big statues and give you tours of everything, all the sound studios and motion capture places if they have them and stuff. Anyway, not to name drop or anything, but I think it's pretty cool that like they are kind of like friendly friends, hang out. Never play D&D with an empty tummy for sure. I totally understand that. Oh, there are some BG3 maps on the workshop actually. Check this out. There's actually a couple on here that are really closely, like the whole goblin camp is what is done. Baldur's Gate goblin camp exterior and goblin camp entrance. This was done pre-multi-level too by hand, so I'd imagine it's a lot easier now. But it's like the whole goblin cave or goblin entrance camp. I mean, not the cave. Let's save this really quick and I'll open that map. Maybe. As a 1-to-1, I think it's quite good. Like they did a lot of research and put a lot of effort into it. I'd love to see a new one done. It'd be pretty cool. Decisive DM Aaron, welcome to the stream. How you doing? They've even got the little pig race area. Like all the details. All the little secret areas that you can loot. The whole upper ledge with the back entrance. Should be able to put water in the map, though. I think that's the one drawback, is they use the ice flows for water instead of just regular water. It is so well done. For a legacy build, this is impressive, actually. It's phenomenally done. One thing is, at the end of the day, you know, Frau, remember, you're going to be a lot more hypercritical of these environments than your players will. So just try to get a close approximation. You know what I mean? You know rough sizes because you could probably look at the gameplay and get an idea based on how far you can move and stuff, and get like screenshots and things to use as reference. But also remember, Dungeon Alchemist has an artistic scale to it. So some objects are actually, you know, much larger than they would be normally, because that makes them more visible in a top down. So at the end of the day, you need to kind of pick and choose, and remember that we as DMs are often hypercritical of our work and much more observant of all the details and the minutia than our players will be. Honestly, I would love to see just the camp. Like their campsite would be great. Also, there is numerous maps that would be pretty fun. Let's see here. The kind of like the sorry. I mean the intro crypts, like the kind of the first area you get to after you escape the ship, is great. You could probably do the entire, like, what is it called? The Druid Grove as well would be a cool build. I mean, iconic places from it in Act 1 or 2 would probably be the most recognizable, right? If you think about it. Heck, I would love to see a new version of this map, if you think about it. Because it's so old at this point, it would be nice just to see a newer version of it. Even the little extra areas up here to climb up and get around. That's so cool. It's a very close representation. It's almost a 1-to-1 using Dungeon Alchemist, obviously, as close as they can get. I think they did a great job. Honestly, I mean, it's up to you. What is that? It's like a secret underground hideout. Is it the Harpers? I can't remember who it is. It's been a while since I played Baldur's Gate. The Witch's Hut would be cool too, Tina. That's a good suggestion. The Hag's Hut. Honestly, though, Rev, I mean, once in a while, doing a large-scale map is a good attention grabber, right? Either one that's based on existing things or pop culture, like grab a cool World of Warcraft scene and build a map, or a scene from, Skyrim or from Baldur's Gate, they will draw attention to your brand, right? You put a lot of effort into them, and with that, they tend to get a lot of eyes on them, especially if they have a reference to go off of and people know it. If you build a map from scratch like this with this much effort, it's going to be 50-50 whether or not you get good reception from the community or not. There's a few creators out there that put a significant amount of time into their maps and get pretty good reception on Reddit and other platforms. But I do see the merit in what you're doing with putting small encounter maps out, because those are better for your target audience, which is DMs who want to buy map packs or individual maps for helping speed up their session prep, right? You may be looking for something, the people who are shopping and like buying your content are probably looking for something different. Having such a fleshed out map with so much detail often is a double-edged sword for a DM who is looking for something specific, right? Or something more generic that they can make fit their needs. I know Sack uses this exact same method too, because he used to spend tons of time on maps, and often people would be like, I can't use this for my campaign. Can't use this, it's too specific. So he leaves them more open, like general than anything, and people tend to use them and enjoy them the most. So in your case, yeah, I think it's smart. It's a really good business practice. Saves you time, allows you to make more maps, have a higher output of maps that are reasonable and decent quality. But I do think maybe once a month, a high detail, maybe not this scale, but a larger map with some good detail in it, maybe referencing something, or, you're like, hey, this is my interpretation of, Minas Tirith, or this is my, just take something from a popular pop culture book or movie or anime and make something of it, But honestly, you got nothing to worry about, Rev. You make very good maps. I enjoy your work very much. And I do see the merit in what you are doing, in making a more kind of a map that is more of a choose your own adventure map, instead of it's got every detail railroaded out to the extreme. So they used ice flows here. These are ice, and then this is a waterfall from the workshop. Though I'm wondering, they probably could have just put water. It flooded up too high because of the height of the map. So the first thing you need to figure out is water, and then build the ledge around that, and then build the upper area of the goblin camp in order to get this right. You know what I mean? I think they approached water in their end game of their map, and that's why they were left with this. Remember, Rev, please map responsibly. Water is a set height, right? Water is always a set height. The only way you can get around it is using the rooms that are pits, or using an object that's filled with water, or making a custom like abstract water or a water asset from the workshop. When object rotation comes out, now that we have multi-level and full object rotation and likely mirroring and grouping and all sorts of stuff, I want to take a crack at building a fan map of the SGC, Stargate Command. Though I'll probably fantasy bend it, because we don't have a ton of modern and sci-fi assets, and it only just makes it more difficult. Honestly, I don't like making maps more difficult on myself than I have to anymore. So I'll usually try to stick to stock assets as much as possible, unless I need a very specific theme. Oh, this is a multi-topic stream. Not only do we teach you about Dungeon Alchemist, but we hope to teach you a little bit about life too. Did y'all hear the horrible news about Amazon rejecting the pitch for Stargate? So they ordered a pilot or a pitch for Stargate from Martin Giroux, who was a writer. He was a big part of Stargate, SG-1, Atlantis, etc. Directed a ton of episodes, big part of the team, knows the content up and down, and he wanted to start making new episodes that essentially patched in the older content, didn't abandon it or like start a new canon or a whole new storyline. So it would be, fan service a bit for the existing fans, but then also updated and modern, new for, new fans, new tech, new teams, but still have guest, spots from the old team members and stuff like that. So they ordered a pitch, and the pitch came, and Amazon said they didn't like it. They don't want to do it because they want it to be targeted for an audience that has a shorter attention span. They didn't think that the pitch that was provided would get eyes on it from a younger generation, a younger audience. Yeah. So yeah, it's already dead in the water, the Stargate project. I'm very irritated, actually, because it was like the best Stargate news we'd had in years. We're about to get a new series. They were going to incorporate, elements and the history of the old series. And they just abandoned it. I think they're probably going to pursue it still, but with a different team in a different direction and not really pay any homage or respect to any of the previous content, which is, I think, is a bad idea. Man, I was just hoping for TV episodes, like I would have been happy with like 12 to 15, 45 hour-long minute episodes. Yeah, I'm kind of fed up with most streaming services. I typically only have Amazon because I use Amazon Prime a lot because I'm a homebody. I don't go out. I don't go shopping in any places to avoid bringing home illnesses because my wife is immunocompromised. So pretty much since COVID, we rely on like delivery services or curbside stuff. Very rarely do we go out somewhere. About the only time we go is like a doctor's office or a testing facility for my wife's, testing for her blood work or whatever. So we we try to use Amazon wherever possible or delivery services, and Amazon is a big lifeline for us for like clothes shopping or electronics, anything. But Amazon Prime comes with all their Prime Video, right? And that's like a free service. They also have rentals, or you can buy movies, or you could tie in your other services. Like if you have Paramount or whatever, you can also watch them on Amazon Prime. So you can watch them all in one place, I guess. So like I do my Crunchyroll sub through there because it's easier to manage than the Crunchyroll site. Anyway, if I do Crunchyroll. But right now I currently have Disney Plus and Amazon Prime. In like a month or two, I'll cut Disney Plus and then we'll move over to like HBO Max and Amazon Prime. But I've been actually like trying to kind of wean myself off of Amazon, but it's hard to do in my current predicament. Especially in Vegas where it's so convenient. Like everything's with like the same day or next day. Very rarely do I have to wait 2 days or longer for a delivery. And I can opt to wait longer for deliveries and they'll give me digital credits. So I often will get like Audible books or ebooks for free, or rent movies or buy movies digitally for free because they give me credits all the time. So like if a new movie comes out and I want to watch it before it's available, I'll rent it, because they have a rental service. So anyway, Amazon, I understand they're like, it's one of those companies that's like, man, it's kind of hard to avoid them nowadays. Some areas it's like Walmart is the only thing you can shop at, you know? Don't really have a choice. And in my case, Amazon is kind of my only option. That, and I do Smith's curbside or Lowe's curbside. Teal'c is one of my favorite characters, but yeah, he would be saying something like, no cap, no cap, no cap. No cap. Mogged. I don't even know what the kids are saying nowadays. I'm at that point where like I hear about child lingo as soon as it becomes cringy to say it. It's like if adults are saying it, then you know the kids are starting to hate it, right? They're like, oh, we're on to our next word. Oh, I love Audible. I just got done getting through the entire Dungeon Crawler Carl series. And that's probably one of the best Audible books I've ever done. Just so well narrated. Well, I'm glad to hear it. Chim, have you gotten into it? Did your book arrive? That's the thing that's weird to me is the younger audience doesn't really have as much purchasing power. Like, they don't. Yeah, 6-7 is, yeah, I think it is dead mostly. One I've been hearing a lot is Giving. That's Giving 6-7 vibes. I don't know. I probably sound old as all talking about this stuff. Youth lingo is definitely interesting to me. But I think we all went through those phases. Like I think a lot of gamers say bro now. Like a lot of guys will say bro, bro. And instead, when we were kids, we'd say dude a lot. Dude. You know what I mean? Like, I think phrases just, that happens. Bruh. Oh my gosh. When I'm watching videos and people are saying bro over and over again, that drives me crazy. Oh my goodness. All right. You know what? Let's get back to the map. We'll work on it a little bit longer. But yeah, Dungeon Crawler Carl, good stuff. Highly recommend diving into it, whether you read it or do the audiobooks or the audio immersion experience through Sound Booth Theater. All are great. And they are going to be rolling out a series soon. Very excited for that. Did I not save? Oh, I put pillars in all these corners, I thought. Oh, I guess I didn't put them in all of them. Another one that bothers me is when people say irregardless. Yeah, I imagine. I think English is kind of like the culture defining language at the moment across the world. Does that make sense? Like, it is, I mean, it's part of Hollywood, and like, which is a big, probably the largest form of entertainment on the planet. And like, obviously, there's other entertainment around the world, but I do think that, like, because a lot of entertainment is made in English first and then adapted to other languages, that and like TikTok is primarily English. You could definitely watch in other languages, but I think the majority of the creators are English speaking. I guess it could just be my algorithm is feeding me people who only speak English too. I don't know. I could be completely wrong there. That is looking really good. But it's like advertisements for, I mean, even a lot of new movies don't come out with like the subtitled versions or like the dubbed versions for a few months, right? So if you're looking at like new things like trailers or all the latest like teasers or like leaks or people dropping, you know, clips of stuff right after it launches, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be in English, so I get it. And then you also have a lot of people making content for that stuff around it, speaking in those terms. Yeah, I think it just gets all mashed up in this sort of like social media stew. No other better term for it. An amalgamation of language and whatever. Trying to think of what to do next for lighting. Hey, this is a dark corner and I don't like it. And I can't put a pylon here because it's all window. I could get rid of this window and put a pylon here. Maybe something in the center. Open to suggestions here. You can just put lamps, like a lantern, on these walls here, around the edges on the walls, so it just lights up those corners. That's a simple solution at the end of the day. Frau, I'm excited to see you around more. Yeah, abstract, but I don't like lighting that just appears for no reason. You know what I mean? I like it to be tied to a light source or a supposed source of light. Like I can just put one there. Excuse me. Bit of a cop-out. Chandelier's a good one. I'm thinking just like a ice or snow light of some sort. I could also maybe put a pillar in the center here. You gotta walk around this for no reason. So do something like this on the floor and make it taller. So it's kind of in the center here. Something to walk around, but you could still see through the windows. I don't know. That kind of looks nice. That or maybe one of these glacial lanterns. And I can kind of fill the gap in between with abstracts. It's like, that's just light from that, you know, glow stick liquid in the ice. I like the way you think. Oh my goodness. Ugh. I guess I could put a pylon in the center there, right? So it's just like in the hallway. Okay, let's get into top down. I like the other gem better. So, unfortunately, it's time to wrap up the stream. Oh! We're going to save it twice. Just a quick reminder that our next stream is this Saturday. It's the Dungeon Alchemist map-making show, and during that show, we will be featuring entries from the current Dam Challenge. So, quick reminder to everyone, our current Dam Challenge is Beach Getaway, and you have until Friday, the end of this week, to submit your entries between now and end of day on Friday the 7th. 11:59 p.m. or 23:59 p.m. for our friends across the pond. Remember, entries can be any shape or size. Just the only major rule for making the map is making sure that you use Beach Getaway as inspiration. And you need to make sure you submit your map before the deadline to our Dam Challenge channel in our Discord, which at the top of that channel is a pin with all the rules for the Dam Challenge for your submitting your entry. So if you're confused on how to submit an entry, or you don't know what you need to submit to make your entry qualify, make sure you check out that pinned message and submit your entry no later than Friday, the 7th, 11:59 p.m. I saw that, Chim. You're on top of it. Thank you for getting your entry in early. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoy the stream today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you have an amazing week, and hope you stay classy. But mostly, thank you for stopping by. I'm just kidding. Anyway, we're gonna run a quick Dungeon Alchemist themed ad, and then we're gonna end the stream. So we'll see you next time I give a damn, okay? Mac out. Bye. See you later. Just gonna save this really quick one more time. 2 more times to be safe. ABS, always be saving, right? Alrighty. Going to pan over to the commercial screen here, the producer screen, and we'll mute the music and run us an ad.
You stand before the long, dark road to the fabled realm of Doyak Ta, and before
What do we see?
I don't know, a goblin.
I kill him!
But before she does, I, Gilliam of Firth, demand to know the goblin's name.
Hi, my name is Woblin.
Where do you live there, Woblin?
I don't think that's relevant.
Well, but I, Gilliam of Firth, demand to seek the goblin's abode.
Clever, find family, kill entire bloodline. I like it.
Seriously, we're doing this? Okay, well, won't be needing that anymore, will I?
Ever get caught by your players with your pants down? Dungeon Alchemist lets you create wonderful maps for any encounter in seconds.
Oh, Woblin, that's a very impressive cheese collection you've got there.
Yeah, it is quite impressive, yes. But you know what's more impressive? This map I have
To the fabled realm of Goyak-Ta. Please take it and leave. Close the door behind you.
Mr. Woblin, I cannot help but notice that you have a secret tunnel underneath your cabinet. Care to explain?
Download Dungeon Alchemist, the AI-powered mapmaker, on Steam today.